guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm saying good morning because I'm up early recording for you. Okay. Anyway, well, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Bria, and today's video is going to be a story time video. And oh my gosh, I put in my Instagram story for you guys to vote on which story time I should share first, and the majority of you guys voted for the shootout story. So I'm gonna give you guys what you want, and let's get into it. So before the story begins, I will not be mentioning anybody's name, okay? Yeah, so, and at first I was hesitant on sharing this story because I was like so shaken up about this. Like, after this happened, I was like shaken up for a good week or two. Like, I didn't want to go out nowhere. Like, I was so close to like not wanting to celebrate my birthday because I'm like, people don't know how to fucking act, and I want to live, okay? This isn't my first time being in a shootout, so I know, but this time was more like crazy than the first time. The first time I wasn't so like shaken up, maybe because I was with family and I had stuff to like protect us, like we had tables to like block it out or whatever. But this time I was like shaken up, like bawling, crying and everything. But let's get into the story. So it was summertime, of course. It was this summer actually that just passed. And you know, this summer I didn't work. I graduated college, so I was just like chilling, you know, going to like out partying and stuff, because the summer before this one I wasn't really doing much. Like, I was going to work, so, and I was always tired. Like, every time I'm working, well, I'm always tired regardless. If you know me, I love my naps. Anyway, so this summer, like I said, I'm gonna live it up. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna do everything that I can do or whatever, right? So my friend, she's like, oh, my homeboy's having a barbecue, like his annual barbecue or whatever, and it's his birthday. Let's like go out and celebrate. So I'm like, okay, where's the barbecue or whatever, right? So she told me that the barbecue was in Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn, and people from Brooklyn know not to do backyard parties, especially during the summer. Brooklyn is fucking hot. Not weather-wise, not like humidity-wise. Like, I'm talking about hot, as in like people don't know how to fucking act, okay? So I was like, okay, like I was hesitant on going, but I did not want to flop on my friend because like I'm always flopping on my friend, and I was so hesitant on going. So boom, so that happened, and I didn't want to go either because my mom had went away. She had went away for the weekend because something happened in our family or something like that, or it was like a family reunion in North Carolina, and she had went. So I was like, I had the house to myself. Like, why would I want to go out if I had the house to myself? You know, call my nigga over and be like, what up? So anyway, so earlier that day I was with my boyfriend, and I was like telling him like what I was gonna do for the day, and he was like, oh, you should just flop and we should just hang out with each other. And I'm like, no babe, like I'm always flopping on her, like I'm just gonna go and stuff like that, right? So he's like, alright, tell me what time you're gonna come back and we could link up after. So I'm like, it's probably gonna be late, like we probably should just link up the next day or whatever, because we was planning on leaving to go to the barbecue at 9 o'clock, but that didn't happen. You know, black people never on time. So we end up going to the barbecue like 10, 11. So, you know, my friend, she came, scooped me. I'm talking like a real Brooklyn girl right now. She came and scooped me. Anyway, she came and got me or whatever. And, you know, the barbecue wasn't so far from my house. So I was like, oh, you could like park in the driveway and we could have walked or whatever. And she's like, no, but we're gonna be tired, so I'd rather, like, it's gonna be late when we're leaving, so let's just get in the car. So I was like, all right, cool. So when I approached the block that the barbecue was on, I was like, oh my God, like I don't like this block. Like, I was like, I hear a lot of shit happen on this block during the summer, especially with parties. It's always on News 12. If you don't know what News 12 is, that's the Brooklyn news, and they tell you everything that's going on in the borough, okay? So I was like, look, this block, like whatever parties they had always end up on the news or whatever, right? My brother's in the background sneezing. So disrespectful. God bless you. Me and my two friends. So it's three of us. So let me give my friends names because I don't want to like use their names. I'm going to give like different names. So it was Kayla and Michelle. So Kayla is the one that's driving. Michelle is the one that knows this guy who's having the party. So me and Kayla is like talking, and we're like, this block always, like this area, not just this block, but this area always ends up on News 12, especially like after barbecues. Like they don't know how to act, like it's always shootouts. And you know, so Michelle was like, you guys are being so negative, let's not put that into existence. And I'm a firm believer of like, you know, you speak things into existence and it fucking happens. And clearly, so Michelle was like, stop being negative or whatever. So I'm like, no, Michelle, like for real, like we're not even trying to be negative, we're just like spitting facts, like this is what happens or whatever. So she's like, let's just go. So my thought of the barbecue was like, you know, it's gonna be him and a couple of his friends and family. It was gonna be like a small, like tight, intimate thing, right? We get there, mad people outside, security, porta potties, or whatever. So the security, they did like a 1, 2, 3. They didn't even pat me down. They did like a open your bag or whatever type of situation. It was like, okay, it's in the bag. That's one sign that I should have like took into consideration. Like, you didn't really check me that well. Like I could bring anything into this party. 2, it's a free fucking party. Never go to a free barbecue in freaking Brooklyn. Never. Everybody and their mother is going to be in there. Okay? So we went or whatever, and we're like, we walked to the back. So like already the exit is already cluttered with people. So that's kind of like a mistake that the security had, because what the security could have said was like, yo, move to the back, keep the exit clear. But no, it was people in the exit or whatever. So time we walked in, we see Michelle's friend. So I'm like, hey, we like saying hi or whatever. So Michelle's friend, like, you know, he's there with all his friends or whatever. And yeah, so he's like, Michelle's friend is really cool. So he was like, oh, you know, do you want drinks? Do you want bottles? So they was like, the bar is back that way. Bitch, the way this barbecue was set up was like a fucking club. Like it was, I don't know, is there like in Brooklyn, there's certain houses, like majority of the houses in Brooklyn are attached, and majority of the houses in Brooklyn, their backyards are shared. So in certain certain houses in Brooklyn, like all their backyards are like an open thing. Like it's really open. It's like a long alley where they could either park their car or whatever, right? So it's like 4 houses that clearly agreed to have this barbecue. So like the whole alley is like full with people. Like I mean packed to capacity, right? So the bar is like, the bar line is packed, the food line packed. They had little mini bar stool tables with hookah on it. Like they had this shit set up like it was a club. So I'm like, okay, this is kind of fake lit, fake mixy. Like I gotta be aware, you know. You should always be aware when you go out to a party. You should always be near the exit, okay? So anyway, so we were like sitting like by the exit. Like literally we seen everybody who walked in and out of the party or whatever. But it's so packed. But it was good vibes. Like there were nobody like arguing or not to the party. We all agreed that we was gonna leave the party at 3 o'clock because we got there at like 11:30. So we were like, we're gonna leave at 3 o'clock. So we all agreed to that. So you know, we're just dancing or whatever. So while we at the party, Michelle's friend was like kind of checking me out. Like he showed he had interest in me or whatever. So I'm like not even interested. Like got a whole boyfriend for 6 years, don't even care about you, right? So he's like, you know, talking to me, laughing or whatever. So I'm like, yeah. The way we're standing in this backyard is like I said, we're by the exit. We see everybody that's coming in and out of the party. And you know, if anything, God forbid, popped off, which it did, we would run, like chilling or whatever, dancing. So Kayla, the one who's driving, she's like, it's almost close to 3. So I'm like, you know, yeah. So like I feel like Kayla wasn't really having a good time. Like she was just chilling. Like she wasn't really like turned, you know, like how me and Michelle was. Like me and Michelle was dancing a little bit, you know, laughing, sipping on our drinks. Like we couldn't, like it was so packed that like if you turn, you could probably like hit hit somebody or like, you know, like this person's on you. Like that's how packed the party was or whatever. So yeah, like I was saying, Michelle and I were like kind of enjoying, like I was enjoying myself. Like I had a good time. Kayla, she wasn't having fun. She was just sitting there. She looked like she was over it or whatever. So she's like, she's hot. She wanted water and stuff like that. And so like, you know, I was giving her water. So she's like, she's ready to go. But me and Michelle wasn't ready to go. But you know, our friend is ready to go. But we're like, oh, this is getting really good or whatever, right? So Kayla, she's like, it's 3 o'clock. So we like, okay, let's just stay a little longer. Like we agreed to do was leave at 3 o'clock, right? So I'm like, ugh. It's like we're having fun. Like at this point, the music was actually getting even more better. So we're like, okay, let's just stay a little bit longer. We're gonna leave like 3:30, okay? So Kayla was like, all right, fine, no problem. So Kayla, she went to the bathroom. She went to the porta potty. So where we're standing, we could see her walk to the porta potty and come back. So we didn't go with her, so we could be able to see that. So now it's just me, Michelle, Michelle's homeboy, Michelle's homeboy. We're all like standing there or whatever. And Michelle's homeboy, he's like tall. I'm gonna just call him tall man. He's tall or whatever. And he's like, he could see. Like he's taller than me. So he could see before anything that's going on, right? So now I'm like, I see the like I'm sitting down on the ledge because there's like a ledge right there. I'm sitting down on the ledge, and I see tall man. He's just like, he just looked like, right? So I'm like, why he looking like that? And next thing you know, he jumped over the gate that we was sitting by. He jumped over, like I mean the first person over the fucking gate, right? Then I'm like, why the fuck is he jumping over the gate? Then you hear his pop, pop, pop. I'm like, was that fucking gunshots? And then I hear another pop. Michelle, homeboy, grabbed me and Michelle and threw us down on the floor, right? He's like, stay down. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, what's happening? That's all I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, what's happening? And he's like, stay down. Like, I mean, my face was so like frantic. I didn't even know what to do, what to think. Like in that moment, I was like, what the fuck, right? So people start running. Like I'm literally pinned down on the floor. Got people on top of me. All I'm thinking is like, yo, I'm gonna die because there's nothing shielding me, right? It's nothing shielding me, and her homeboy are like pinned down on the floor. So Michelle homeboy came with like a lot of people. Like he came with like 4 or 6 people, right? So all of them already had jumped over the gate, especially the first one. He didn't even like I felt like, all right, I know we don't know each other, but you could have fucking said duck. You could have fucking said run. You could have said jump over. But he literally did not say anything, right? And this is Michelle's homeboy's best friend. He didn't even say nothing to his best friend. He literally just jumped over. And I know in this situation, it's every man for themselves. But at the end of the day, you need to be a fucking human. You need to have a fucking heart. Or like pinned down on the ground, right? People is like jumping over us. People is like falling on top of us or whatever. Like, I mean, we was on the ground for like 5 minutes. Shots still ringing out, right? Don't even know where these fucking bullets are going. All I'm thinking is like, Lord, like I start praying, like literally on the ground, like, God, please get me home. Please get us home. Please get all of us home. Like, get us out of this. Get us out of this or whatever, right? So I'm just like thinking in my head like, yo, I'm gonna die. Because the shots just kept ringing out. We don't know where the shots are going, right? And Michelle, her arm is like up. So all I'm thinking is like, God, please protect us right now. Because literally, if Michelle, like, God forbid, got shot, the bullet probably would have went through her. Then it would have went through me. Then it would have went through her homeboy, right? So, because we're like on the ground and like our backs are like this. And we can't see anything because there's so many people and everything, right? And what's so disgusting about it is like people like who had actually lived in these houses had their kids out there, had their wives out there, had their family out there, and they said they have this annual barbecue every year. It was, like I said, on News 12 the next day, right? So before I get to the next day, let's just stick to what's happening, right? So we finally get up, right? And Michelle is running out. This girl's like pulling Michelle back, like pulling her back so she could get out before Michelle get out. So I see Michelle like tussling with the girl, like pulling back or whatever, right? So mind you, my dumbass has on slides, right? Because I'm thinking it's like a small intimate barbecue. I'm not thinking this is a big ass bashment. So I have on slides, my freaking shoes fell off. I'm like grabbing my shoes, grabbing everything. This guy fell. I'm like pulling him up. Michelle is pulling people up, like we're running. So Michelle and her homeboys, like two people was in between us. So they were out before me. So they like ran back and was like, Brie, come on, come on. So they grabbed me, like, thank you, because some people would have just kept running. They literally looked back and grabbed me, right? So at this point, we're freaking out. We're like, where the fuck is Kayla, right? So, because remember, she went to the porta potty. She went to pee before all this happened, right? So we're like, oh my God. Well, she had a better advantage of getting out before all of us because the porta potty was close to the exit, right? We see cops, and all you hear people saying, all you hear on the cops walkie-talkie is, shots fired, right? I see the cop like reaching for his gun. I'm like, this is a fucking movie. Like, oh my God. So if the night couldn't get any worse, right? Give you a little bit of background on Michelle. She allowed me to share this. So Michelle is going through a breakup, and the area that we were in, her ex grew up around that area. So he still hangs out over there or whatever. And she was like, so while we're in the party, because this is a big fucking bashment, she's like, yo, I really hope like my ex don't pop up because this is gonna be crazy. Because clearly he don't want her to have guy friends or like see that she's hanging out with guy friends because she's now single or whatever. So I mean, as we're running out this fucking party, we run into fucking Michelle's ex, who is standing outside with all his friends. His car is parked or whatever, and so Michelle homeboy run that way to, I guess, go find more people that he was with. And me and Michelle is like honestly, I was kind of baffled. I was like, what the fuck? Like, is this a movie? Like, what the fuck is going on? So he is like, are you fucking kidding me? Y'all in that fucking party? Y'all in that party? And I'm like, at this point, I'm bawling crying because I thought I was gonna die. Like, you know, don't worry, yeah, we almost got shot, but you're worried about we're in the fucking party. So I'm like bawling crying, and I'm like, it's not important right now. Just get in the car. Just get in the car. It's not important. He's like, you're fucking here with him? With him? I'm like, just get in the car. Just get in the car. Literally bawling, right? So now after, I'm like, it's not this time to argue, like, just get in the car. So we see cops running with their guns and all this stuff. We see people running. We see everybody just like scattered or whatever. Like, I'm bawling crying in the car, bawling crying, because I'm like, I almost just fucking died. Like, I ain't never, like, I grew up in Brooklyn all my life. I grew up on the worst block for like 13 years. Ain't never got caught in no fucking shootout. Ain't never seen no fucking crazy shit. Like, I mean, I seen crazy shit, but I was never in the middle of it where I didn't have anything to protect me. Literally, all I had was bodies on top of me, right? So now, like I mentioned earlier in the story, my mother is away. I told her I was going to this barbecue or whatever. Yeah, so I'm bawling crying in the car. I'm like debating, should I call my mom now or should I call her in the morning? Like, when should I call her? But I'm like so hysterically crying, like, hysterically, is it hysterically? Whatever, you get what I'm saying. I was just fucking bawling, okay? And I'm like bawling crying, and I'm just like in the car. Michelle's like, calm down, calm down. Michelle's trying to find out where Kayla is at, and yeah, I call my mom crying. I'm like, Mommy, right? She's like, what's going on? Like, mind you, it's 4 o'clock in the fucking morning at this point. And I'm like bawling, crying, like, oh, like, I almost died. She's like, what do you mean you almost died? She's like, I need you to calm down. Like, I mean, like, I'm getting teary-eyed now because it was like so crazy. Like, I almost literally died. So anyway, yeah, so I'm like, Mommy, like, I almost died. So she's like, calm down, right? So I'm telling her what's happening. She's like, where's your friends? Like, are you still with your friends or whatever? I'm like, yes, I'm still with my friends. Like, they just dropped me home. She's like, are they gonna stay there with you tonight? Because mind you, I'm in the house by myself. I'm like, oh my God, like, I have to stay in this big ass house by myself. And I'm scared, like literally scared, because now, like I said, the party wasn't far from my house. So I'm hearing police sirens, I'm hearing helicopters and stuff, and I'm in this house by myself, scared. So Michelle and her ex-boyfriend stayed with me for a minute or two while I calmed down or whatever. They told me, because like I didn't even go inside my house. They pulled out the driveway. I didn't have no shoes on. I'm sitting on the end of my steps, bawling, crying, talking to my mom. They're like, let's go inside or whatever. I go inside. I'm like crying. Like, it was so scary. It was like crazy. And like, I ain't never been in no shit like this. Like, I don't want to go out anymore. And my mom is like a firm believer in God. She's like, you can't have no fear or whatever. She's like, thank God you're home, you're safe, like, stop crying, right? So my mom is with my grandmother. My grandmother got on the phone. She's like, calm down, take a breath. She's praying with me over the phone and stuff like that. So after we prayed and after my grandmother, like, you know, calmed me down and stuff, I felt a little bit better, but I was still worked up, like worked the fuck up. Like, I ain't never been so scared in my life. Never ever been so scared. Like, never had the thought in my mind like, oh, I'm gonna die tonight. Never in my mind got ready to die. You know what I mean? So I was freaking out. Then the next day, I had a concert to go to. I wasn't even happy about the concert. If you guys see the SZA concert up, I kind of look happy, but I wasn't happy about that concert. So I was like, I was pretty much just shaken up from the whole situation, you know. And then I texted my boyfriend, told him what happened, and you know, he was kind of being an asshole because he was like, well, if you would have flopped on your friends and stayed with me, you wouldn't have gotten into a shootout. Nigga. Then go along and say, are you okay? Nigga, what do you think? So anyway, so that's my little story of being involved in a shootout. I won't be going to no more barbecues. I don't care if it's not a family barbecue, don't ask me to come. I'm not doing no backyard parties or anything. Like, I heard my friends get involved in shootouts and backyard parties and they wasn't so shaken up. Maybe because I was raised a little different. Like, I'm not used to that shit. Okay, I'm borderline bougie, so I try to stay away from the mix, okay? But that's my story, and I'm happy that you guys wanted to hear the story. Yeah, so the next story that I wanted to tell you guys is how I almost got into a fight with my cousin over a pair of Jordans. Like, bitch, what? Right. So thank you guys for voting, and thank you guys for tuning into this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys watch all the other videos, and I'm out. Bye.